wives and you know, and
And then I fell asleep, and then the guy came and rescued me and kissed me, and I woke up from my beautiful princess dream. I get it. We've all grown up on Disney. I understand. But it is also okay to make sure the relationship works for you and you see him being your husband as well. It's okay to not want to just look at a guy and be like, oh, wow, like I can't wait to be tethered to him and not know what he's about. He's just doing whatever they say that he should be doing in the books. No, like, are you genuinely happy, or are you just there because people are telling you you should be there as a woman and that's your duty or that's what you're supposed to do?
Well, why is it bad that someone would want to support their spouse or their partner? Like I clarified, when you're in a marriage, it's a partnership, it's a
Yeah,
unionship. What I'm lacking, he will make up for, and what he's lacking, I will as well. It's not a factor of being a slave, it's a factor of that is the person that I choose to be with for the rest of my life.
exactly.
And whatever it takes for us to be happy, we should both be in agreement that we will do what it takes for us both to be happy. But
Right.
happiness is found within yourself, it's not found within somebody else.
Yep.
So if you are leaving relationships because you are solely not happy, then you have to, and you're constantly in this back to back spat of like every time I'm not happy in a relationship I'm going to leave. Then at one point are we going to reflect on ourselves, is it me, like what can
Exactly.
I do to make
It's because some people get addicted to dating. Because in dating, you get the lust and you get the honeymoon phase of the relationship. They think that that is going to be sustainable throughout the relationship because they don't understand what a relationship actually is. A relationship isn't about sustained happiness. It is about sustained duty. Relationships and eventually marriage, especially marriage, is about providing stability for children. It's not about the individual happiness of the parents. The marriage is about committing your duties regardless of if you are happy or not. And oftentimes you'll find if you do your duties when you're not happy, it will lead to delayed gratification or a higher sustainability level of happiness and fulfillment. And so there are a lot of people who think that relationships are about their happiness, and when they're not happy in a relationship, they automatically want to leave. But you don't need to be in a relationship then, because relationships are about duty. Once the duty sets in, all of a sudden you don't want to do it no more. You want to go try to find somebody else because you don't like the duties or you don't like the expectations that have been set in place. And this is why a lot of ladies have a hard time sustaining men, because they believe that if they aren't happy at all times in the relationship, then they should just go chase somebody else, which is literally just lust. And then they get into the honeymoon phase and then it breaks up again. It's about duty. You got to be willing to do things when you don't want to do them. Today, I didn't want to make a video, but here I am making a video because I have a duty to protect and provide, and this is my job. If I only went to the gym when it made me happy, I would never get anywhere with going to the gym. You're never going to go anywhere in life when you're only willing to do things that make you happy, and that includes relationships and marriage too.
myself happy, because my happiness is not determined on what my partner is. I created that happiness for myself, and anything we have together, it just elevates. Not every time are we going to be happy in relationships, but are you going to go through the mud with me, through the thick and thin with me, and regroup that or make that come back? Can we make that happen? That should be just as important, correct?
Got it. I mean, yes, we all want to have a partner that could stand the rain. I understand that. I was speaking in the sense that the words that I'm hearing, it's supposed what she's supposed to be doing, and aren't you supposed to want to serve your husband? Those two words is what my response is based on. A partnership is something that I have been saying from the beginning. Two people in a working relationship that is healthy are supporting each other. Supporting is a key word, but this serving thing, no.
Yeah, but the biggest issue is ladies will always have a long list of what they want men to do, but then when men say what they want their women to do as duties, all of a sudden, I'm not your mom. I'm not your maid. I'm not your servant. I'm not submissive to you. I'm not. You have an issue with you fulfilling your duties, but you have a list of duties that you want him to provide for you, and that's the bigger issue. Women have been confused about their duties, and they relate their duties to, I'm like his mom. He's like a big kid because I have to do certain things for him. Imagine if dudes had that same mentality about our duty. Imagine a guy walks into the house and your man is like, oh, I'm not your dad. Why should I have to protect you? I'm not your dad. Why should I have to pay bills? That would be weird, right? So it goes the same way with the feminine duties. They just basically try to shame you out of the women having duties because they don't want to fulfill them. And they relate to, they think that the duties means that they're a slave or a servant. And nobody speaks that way about feminine duties other than feminists. I've never heard a man insulting a stay-at-home wife. This almost universally comes from other women attacking a woman who chooses to engage in her feminine virtues. Like,
So Mark, I know you've been paying attention
and duties,
and
feminine
listening
duties.
intently. What's your thoughts so far on what you've been hearing thus far? Respectfully,
Marcus, man, I don't know why you trying to involve me in this foolishness, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already know what my thoughts are, man. It's malarkey, it's tomfoolery, it's buffoonery being on display. Like, it doesn't make any sense. Gentlemen at home, please pay attention, with the exception of Amira. And I'm not familiar with the other ladies, and I mean no disrespect. They could lay out when it was, what is the husband duties? They had a list.
Yeah.
When it came time to speak about what their duties are, they struggled to articulate.
No, we didn't struggle. It just wasn't our turn.
May I please land? No disrespect to you. I appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
opportunity to speak.
No disrespect to you at all.
Let's let him finish his statement, y'all.
So there was a struggle to kind of articulate exactly what it was that a wife's duties were, because women don't really have a sense of duty. They don't understand duty. Like the young lady stated, women are more concerned with their personal happiness. And when happiness is your concern, you abdicate all thoughts of duty. There is no duty when you're trying to be happy. When you get up every day and go to work, you don't want to go to work every single day, but you have a duty to pay those bills that you know are coming on the 1st and 15th. So therefore, you get up when you don't even feel like it and you go in. Your happiness is not on that sliding scale, because it's delayed and deferred, because what's going to keep you happy is knowing you got a roof over your head and you know you have a vehicle to hop in that's going to start and get you from point A to point B. And when you open your refrigerator, you'll see groceries that you can consume that can give you sustenance. And that's been allowed throughout history. So at this point, you know, when we're talking about duty on the man's side and on the woman's side, men, we are, from day one, we're told by our mothers, by society, by teachers in the school, we're molded and branded. If you don't do X, Y, Z, if you don't have this by this age, if you're not here by 30 or 40, you're of no value.
Yep.
But that has not been disseminated amongst the community of women. So it's very difficult.
Basically, you've heard the term how to treat a lady, but you've never heard the term how to treat a man.
Difficult for them to understand the duties, number one, if they've never been taught. Number two, if they don't have a belief system that reinforces those duties. And number three, if they're putting personal happiness and instant gratification at the top of their list. I'm done.
All right, and that leads us probably directly into the next question.
Can I say something real fast?
Yeah. Go ahead.
So this is kind of like the issue that I have with these panels, right? A question was asked. Not everybody was able to go. One person said something that was, aside from everybody's thoughts. And it's like everybody said it when everybody didn't even have an opportunity to go. You understand? Amir spoke. I think this young lady beside me, there were some things that you probably would agree that she was saying you should be the support. But one person, when it gets the grain, is all the women. And that's what I see a lot in these spaces. No, we didn't all agree with that. We didn't all have an opportunity to speak. So let's just, when we're having these conversations, just call, if you have a disagreement with any young lady, call that young lady out. It's not all of us. We all think very different. Her relationship is going to be different from mine. My relationship is going to be different from Aisha's. How we all think very different. We have our own way. We don't all think the same. Okay. So in that,
one second, Marcus, before you go, I need to clear something up, right? I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm gonna let her land. Go ahead.
In that particular situation, we didn't have an opportunity. She came in, she was one of the first women to speak. I didn't have an opportunity to speak on what I feel like a woman should bring to the table. I didn't. She came in, they asked her the question. I think Amira had an opportunity to speak. I know Aisha didn't have an opportunity to speak.
You got an opportunity now.
So I agree with Amira. I think a woman should make a house a home. I think a woman should be a man's support system. I believe in it. Help me. I think that one of the reasons why we are so behind as a people is we don't get married. We don't use each other the way we're supposed to be used. Men marry women who can help them get to their vision. That's how I think that men should lead by example. Women should follow their leadership. They should marry someone who they see the vision and they should help him get there. I think that inside the home, women are over to the children. We're nurturers. There are qualities that women have that men don't have and vice versa. There are things that men are good at. There are things that women are naturally good at. And I think that women should provide those things, right? I think Amira said it's respectful. You should be respectful to anybody, but of course your husband. Like that's just, it should be a given. So I think that and I don't have a problem with the word submit. I don't. I mean, that can be that's just me personally. And then that's just how I feel. I think women should be there to help their husbands.
Yeah, it's crazy because there will be a lot of ladies that have a problem with the word submit, but they still sleep with men. Like their mentality is like, I would never submit to a man, but then like your ankles are near your ears for a guy that has never committed to you. What do you think you're doing when your ankles are by your ears for some random guy? You don't think that's a form of submission? So they'll go, oh, I don't want to make a sandwich. I don't want to do these simple things that men want for reciprocation for them performing their masculine duties. I don't want to do those things because that's like being a servant or a slave or being too submissive or whatever it may be. But then they'll just go and date a dude and then put their ankles around their ears and think that that's normal. What do you think that is?
Husbands in their household, and they're, like I said, a woman, the man is the house, woman take care of the home, if that makes any sense.
So if I may just say this to clarify some things, right? I never once said that the lady in the bottom left, that her thoughts and sentiments applied to all the women. I never once said that that was the general consensus of all the ladies on the panel. What I said was that the ladies struggled at first to articulate what their duties were as a wife. Whereas when you were asked what the men's duties were, y'all rambled it off like this and I did that to just present the idea and the fact that in society, y'all are told about what we're supposed to be doing, but y'all are rarely ever told what y'all are supposed to be doing. And that was the reason why I brought that point up. But I never accused y'all of having the same thoughts and sentiments as the young lady who I spoke previously. I didn't do that.
My apologies. It's just when you said ladies, I assumed you were talking about all the ladies. But
my fault. I'll be more clear.
Can I say something real quick? Because if that's the case, you made a comment, sir, and you said something about, I want you to see this buffoonery. I'm not sure what you're referring to, but I
was referring to directly what you had stated, directly to what you said.
I appreciate that, but I'm respecting you, so I expect to be respected as well.
I was only commenting on your comments, not on you as a person, just to make that clear.
This is my opinion. And I am not a buffoon, so learn how to use your words with tact while you're trying to tell the men to look at the people on this panel as an example. Start with yourself, okay? Second of all, advocating for your personal happiness is a healthy choice of living for any person on the planet.
Yep.
So I'm not sure why we're trying to encourage women to not pursue their own happiness.
Because they're supposed to be pursuing duties. Life isn't about happiness. You're a grown adult. You're not a child anymore.
Crazy.
I'll say this. Number one, I don't know if that was an attempt to check me, but it'll never work.
Shut up. No one's trying to check you.
That'll never happen. Number two, I don't.
Andrea,
so we're going to pass right over that.
No,
Number
respect
two,
me. Don't call me
what
a buffoon.
was said, and I'm addressing
He didn't
this.
call her a buffoon. He said that what she said was buffoonery. Those are two totally different things.
To the panel, what was said was buffoonery and tomfoolery, and I was speaking directly about the comments, and I stand firm on what I said about those comments. So one rule I have is I don't argue with women. There's only one woman I'll do a back and forth with, and that's my wife.
I'll leave a link in the pinned comments and in the description down below, but he's absolutely right. The bigger issue is men know their duties, but when it comes to the feminine duties, they think of them as being a servant or being a slave, because that's what they've been conditioned to believe. They don't see them as a duty that they should fulfill regardless of if they're happy with the man or not. But what if I thought about my duties as a man in the same lens? My woman needed me to protect her from somebody or something, and I said, what do you think, I'm a bodyguard? My woman needed me to help her with her tire. What do you think, I'm AAA? My woman wanted me to pay for the bill. What do you think, I'm your dad? That would be weird if men thought about their duties that way. But because of feminism, women think that their duties to serve their man, to cook nutritious meals for their families for the sake of extending the lives of their families, those different types of duties that you should be doing regardless of if you're happy or not, they try to make them seem like if you're not happy when you're doing the duties, then you must be a slave or a servant. But it's just not sustainable, and it's not a healthy way to look at your duties, especially when you're in a relationship. It is the duty of a wife. It's that simple. Just like husbands have duties, wives have duties, and it doesn't make you a slave. And by the way, the only people I ever see come with that mentality when we're talking about these feminine duties are women. I've never heard a man who see a woman who's catering to her man or doing something for her man say, "Oh, she's a weak woman. She's a servant. She's too submit." I've never heard that before. All the time, anytime I hear that, it comes from other women trying to shame women who are trying to do their duties out of doing their duties and make them feel like they are lesser than for understanding that they have a responsibility to their families. Let me know in the comments below if this video was a W or L, and give me the HBO special. That's help brother out special. Hit the like and the subscribe button for more content. Till next time.